Hello students, welcome to the world of Intellectuals Hub. Students, today we are going to study the living world. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe the channel for more such informative videos. So, let's get started. The living world. How wonderful is the living world? The wide range of living type is amazing. The extraordinary habitat in which we find living organisms, be it cold mountains, deciduous forest, ocean, freshwater lakes, deserts, or hot springs, leave us speechless. The beauty of a galloping horse, of the migrating birds, the valley of flowers, or the attacking shark evokes awe and a deep sense of wonder. The ecological conflicts and cooperation among members of a population and among population of a community, or even the molecular traffic inside a cell, make us deeply reflect on what indeed is life. This question has two implicit questions within it. The first is a technical one and seeks answer to what living is as opposed to the non-living, and the second is a philosophical one and seeks answer to what the purpose of life is. As scientists, we shall not attempt answering the second question. We will try to reflect on what is living. Now, the diversity in the living world. If you look around, you will see a large variety of living organisms, be it potted plants, insects, birds, and pets, or other animals and plants. There are also several organisms that you cannot see with your naked eye, but they are all around you. If you were to increase the area that you make observation in, the range and variety of organisms that you are would increase. Obviously, if you were not to visit a dense forest, you will probably see a much greater number and kind of living organism in it. Each different kind of plant, animal or organism that you see represent a species. The number of species that are known and described range between 1.7 to 1.8 million. This refers to biodiversity or the number and type of organism present on earth. We should remember here that as we explore new areas and even old ones, new organisms are continuously being identified. As stated earlier, there are many of plants and animals in the world. We know the plants and animals in our own area by their local names. These local names would vary from place to place. Even within a country, probably you would recognize the confusion that would be created if we did not find ways and means to talk to each other, to refer to organism we are talking about. Hence, there is a need to standardize the naming of living organism such that a particular organism is known as the same name all over the world. This process is called nomenclature. Obviously, nomenclature or naming is only possible when the organism is described correctly and we know to what organism the name is attached to. This is identification. In order to facilitate the study, number of scientists have established procedure to assign a scientific name to each known organism. This is acceptable to biologists all over the world. For plants, scientific names are based on agreed principle and criteria, which is provided in International Code for Botanical Nomenclature, that is ICBN. You may ask how the animals named. Animal taxonomists have evolved International Code of Zoological Nomenclature, that is ICZN. The scientist's name ensure that each organism has only one name. Description of any organism should enable the people to arrive at the same name. They also ensure that such a name has not been used for any known organism. Biologists follow universally accepted principle to provide scientific name to known organisms. Each name has two components, the generic name and the specific epithet. This system of providing the name with two components is called binomial nomenclature. That is called binomial nomenclature. This naming system given by Carolus Linus is being practiced by biologists all over the world. This naming system using a two-word format was found convenient. Let us take an example of mango to understand the way of providing scientific names better. The scientific name of mango is written as Magnifica indica. Let us see how it is binomial name. In this name, Magnifica represents the genus, while indica is a particular species or a specific epithet. Other universal rule of nomenclature are as: first one is biological names are generally in Latin and written in italics. They are Latinized or derived from Latin irrespective of their origin. Second is the first word in a biological name represents the genus, while the second component denotes a specific epithet. Third one is both the words in a biological name, when handwritten, are separately underlined or printed in italics to indicate their Latin origin. And the fourth point is the first word denoting the genus starts with a capital letter, while the specific epithet starts with a small letter. It can be illustrated with the example of Magnifica indica. Name of the author appear after the specific epithet, that is the end of the biological name, and is written in an abbreviated form. Example, Magnifica indica. It indicates that this species was first described by Linus. Since it is nearly impossible to study all the living organisms, it is necessary to devise some means to make this possible. This process is called classification. Classification is the process by which anything is grouped into convenient categories based on some easily observable characters. For example, we easily recognize groups such as plants or animals or dogs or cats or insects. The moment we use any of these terms, we associate certain character with the organism in that group. What image do you see when you think of a dog? Obviously, each one of us will see dogs and not cats. Now, if we were to think of Alsatians, we know that we are talking about. Similarly, suppose we were to say mammals, we would of course think of animals with external ears and body hair. Likewise, in plants, if we try to talk of wheat, the picture in which of our mind will be of wheat plant, not of rice or any other plant. Hence, all these dogs, cats, mammals, wheat, rice, plant, animal, etc. are convenient category we use to study organisms. The scientific term for this category is taxa. Here you must recognize that taxa can indicate category at a very different level. Plants also form a taxa. Wheat is also a taxa. Similarly, animal, mammal, dogs are all taxa. But you know that dog is a mammal and mammal are animal. Therefore, animal, mammals and dogs represent taxa at different levels. Hence, based on characteristics, all living organisms can be classified into different taxa. This process of classification is taxonomy. External and internal structure along with the structure of cell, development process and ecological information of organism are essential and form the basis of modern taxonomic studies. Hence, characterization, identification, classification and nomenclature are the processes that are basic to taxonomy. Now, taxonomy is not something new. human beings have always been interested in knowing more and more about the various kinds of organisms, particularly with reference to their own use. In early days, human beings needed to find sources for their basic needs of food, clothing, and shelter. Hence, the earliest classification was based on the use of various organisms. Human beings were since long not only interested in knowing more about different kind of organisms and their diversities, but also the relationship among them. This branch of study was referred to as systematics. The word systematics is derived from the Latin word systema, which means systematic arrangement of organism. Linus used Systema Natura as a title of his publication. The scope of systematic was later enlarged to include identification, nomenclature, and classification. Systematic takes into account evolutionary relationship between organisms. Now, what is taxonomical categories? Taxonomic categories classification is not a single step process but involves hierarchy of steps in which each step represents a rank or category. Since the category is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement, this is called taxonomic category, and all categories together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. Each category referred to as a unit of classification in fact represent a rank and is commonly termed as taxon. Taxonomic categories and hierarchy can be illustrated by an example. Insects represent a group of organisms sharing common features like 3 pairs of jointed legs. It means insects are recognizable concrete objects which can be classified and thus were given a rank or category. Can you name other such organisms? Remember, group represent category. Category further denotes rank. Each rank or taxon in fact represent a unit of classification. These taxonomic groups, categories are distinct biological entities and not merely morphological aggregates. Taxonomical studies of all known organisms have led to a development of common categories such as kingdom, phylum or division for plants, class, order, family, genus, and species. All organisms, including those in the plant and animal kingdom, have species as a lowest category. Now, the question you may ask is how to place an organism in various categories. The basic requirement is the knowledge of characters of an individual or group of organism. This helps in identifying similarities and dissimilarities among the individual of the same kind of organism as well as of other kind of organisms. Now students, thanks for watching. For more such videos, please like, comment, share and subscribe the channel, and remaining part you can watch in part 2 in next video.